Hi guys, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. So greatly appreciate it. Before we get started, let me give my usual disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. Please do not take what I say as fact. Please always do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Next, if you have not liked, subscribed, or commented yet, please consider doing so. It really helps me out and it really means so much to me. Okay, with that, let's get started. 16-year-old Palestina Tina Issa was born on December 3rd, 1972 in Brazil to parents Zane and Maria, and she was the youngest of four sisters. Zane and Maria met in Brazil in 1963. Because Zane was Muslim and Maria was Catholic, her family was strongly against the couple marrying. But Zane and Maria didn't care, and they married behind their parents' back. The irony. All four of their girls were raised Muslim per Zane's wishes. Prior to their wedding, Zane failed to let Maria know that he had a wife and 3 kids back in his home country. When Zane was a teenager, he ended up marrying his cousin and having 3 children with her, before deciding to up and abandon them in Palestine in the 1950s. Class act. In 1968, the entire Issa family would immigrate to St. Louis, Missouri, where they would own and operate a family grocery store. Tina had both brains and beauty, and at the time of her death, she was an honor roll student at Roosevelt High School with dreams of studying aeronautical engineering in college so she could become a pilot. She spoke 4 different languages: Arabic, Portuguese, Spanish, and English. If that was my child, I would be bragging about her to anyone that would listen. But Tina's parents did not see it this way. They chose to use up all their energy on the rage they felt when they found out Tina listened to hip-hop, played tennis, played soccer, and viewed herself as an American rather than an Arab. Again, if I had an honor roll student with dreams of studying engineering and becoming a pilot, she could identify as Bugs fucking Bunny for all I care. I would be over the moon, extremely proud of her. They forbade her from attending her junior American Studies class field trip to Washington, D.C., her junior prom, and a free college prep program at the University of Missouri. Tina did actually go to the prom behind her parents' back, and her mother, her sister, and a male relative would show up at the prom. Another huge part of the conflict between Tina and her parents was her relationship with Cliff Walker. Cliff was an African-American boy that Tina went to school with. By all accounts, everything that I read, Cliff was a good kid, besides the fact that he was black and not the person that Zane picked for his daughter to date or marry. At the end of the day, Tina loved him and he treated her well, so she continued to date him, and as she should. This would bring a lot of escalating arguments into the Issa household. October 13th, 1989, Maria Issa walked into Roosevelt High School with plans to withdraw Tina from school. She told her guidance counselor that Tina was being withdrawn from school because she was not obeying family rules. Imagine being that guidance counselor. What she must have thought. Staff at the school tried to explain to Maria how important education was and how Tina's grades made her a great candidate for college scholarships, which again, most parents would be jumping for joy, screaming the news from the rooftops. But not Maria Issa. The good news is that by the end of that meeting, the staff was able to get Maria to wait to withdraw Tina until they had another meeting Monday morning. The bad news is that by the end of this story, it wouldn't matter anyway. Monday, October 16th, 1989. Maria Issa attended the meeting, and it's been reported that she was very hostile during it, telling the staff that neither her nor her husband wanted Tina dating a black man. going on to call Tina a tramp. Maria did not withdraw Tina from school as she had intended to, though. Towards the end of October, Tina would end up finding a job as a cashier at Wendy's restaurant. Tina would break the news of her new job to her parents on November 5th, 1989, her first day of work, by leaving a note taped to the television for her parents. Okay, at some point prior to November 5th, 1989, the FBI would bug the Issa home and phone lines when Zane came under suspicion of espionage activities against the United States. Because of this, the night of November 5th and the days leading up to it would all be recorded. This would prove to be a blessing and a nightmare all wrapped into one. It's a prosecutor's dream to get their hands on such a slam dunk case, and in truth, they say that if they did not have these tapes, Maria Issa would have got away with the whole thing, because they were under the impression that she was just a bystander. But the contents of those recordings are nothing short of tragic and disgusting. Tina arrived home that night at 11:59 p.m. and her mother greeted her with, "Where have you been, bitch?" That's when Tina informed her parents that she had gotten a job and that it was her first day there. So it should come as no surprise that a huge argument erupted from there. Maria told Tina that working is unacceptable, telling her, "This life of yours is unacceptable. Do you understand? This life is unacceptable." From there, Zane began to attack Tina about her relationship with Cliff, calling her behavior shameful and purely fornication. From there, the conversation went a little like this. Oh, let me say first that this is part of a transcript from those tapes, those recordings. "Listen to what I say to you. Until you reach 17, I am prepared to provide for you. Why? You don't do anything but eat, drink, and sleep. I swear the money is not enough, and you have stolen from me. Why do you play this game now? Do you want to sleep here? If you want to sleep here, then you don't need any money. Come on, throw me out. Do you want to drink water from here? What about it? What do you want, Tina?" I say, "Nothing." "So you're going to leave us? To go where? Does it matter? Where's the key? Of your house?" "Yes, of my house." "Are you throwing me out?" "Give me the key to my house." "Then you don't want me to live here?" "Of my house here." "Okay, here's the key." "Here, listen, my dear daughter. Do you know that this is the last day? Tonight you're going to die." Huh? Do you know that you're going to die tonight? What do you have in this bag here? Whose shoes are these? Why? I want to see what is in it. Are you going to forbid me from seeing what's inside? Whose shoes are these? Mine. Where do you intend to get with this, Tina? I don't want to get anywhere. If you want to continue working, you don't sleep here. In that case, I'll leave right now. You left earlier, and now you don't even have to sit here. If you don't want to talk with me, then you don't belong to the family. Let me see. What do you have here? My books, Mom. They're not yours. They belong to the school. The conversation is then interrupted by Tina's continuous screaming. That's when agents hear Zane say, "Keep still, Tina." This is terrible. "Mother, please help me." Huh? What do you mean? Help! Help! What help? The agents hear more of Tina screaming. Are you going to listen? Are you going to listen? Yes, yes, yes. Tina starts coughing. No, please. That's terrible. Shut up. Tina crying. No, no. Zane. Die. Die quickly. Die quickly. Clean her bottom. Tina begins screaming even louder. Quiet, little one. Die, my daughter. Die. Hi, guys. Okay, I'm just popping in here real quick because I realized while I was editing that I should have given a trigger warning for what's coming up. So there's audio right now that was taken on the night that Palestina was murdered. So I just wanted to let you know that, to give you a warning before it plays. Okay.
Parents murdering their own 16-year-old daughter. And unbeknownst to them, their crime recorded from beginning to end on a hidden microphone placed in their apartment by the FBI. The feds were investigating the father, Zain Issa, a member of a Palestinian terror cell controlled by notorious terrorist Abu Nidal. November 5th, 1989. The tape begins with an argument and Tina starts screaming. Her father says, "Keep still, Tina." Tina pleads, "Mother, please help me." Her mother responds, "Shut up." In fact, her mother was holding her down, Issa plunging a 9-inch kitchen knife into his daughter's chest. Tina continues screaming for several minutes, giving way finally to a quiet moan. Her father, exhausted, then utters these words, "Quiet, little one. Die, my daughter. Die."
After Tina was gone, Maria called for an ambulance. While on the phone with 911, she was still having conversations with her husband, trying to strengthen their self-defense claim. She began telling him to take his shirt off. Zane responds, "Why? No." She was the one who wanted to. Her father, "I got a knife and she took it away from me. You see?" Her father. After hanging up with 911, Zane made calls to several family members telling them that Tina had attacked them with a knife in an attempt to get $5,000 from them and had been killed while they were trying to defend themselves. When police arrived at the apartment, they found Tina laying on the living room floor with 2 knives at her head. Neither Zane nor Maria were visibly shaken or upset by what had happened. A blood-stained Maria tells police that she grabbed her daughter from behind during the struggle. Tina's autopsy revealed 6 puncture wounds on her left breast and several small wounds on her chest and neck. The tight cluster of these wounds indicate that Tina wasn't moving when she was. She had a 2-inch bruise on top of her head and scratch marks on her neck. Of all Tina's wounds, the 2 fatal ones were one that went through her breastbone and into her heart, and one that entered her lung. Both of these wounds would require great force. Hairs that were found in Tina's hand were consistent with the hair found on Maria's arms. She also had numerous self-defense wounds on her hands. It was revealed at trial that Tina's sisters were also part of the planning and the undoing of their dishonorable sister. Bitches. 24-year-old Soraya suggested locking Tina in the basement and proposed they hire a black guy. So it's all of them, who's always in trouble to Tina. But Zane didn't like that idea, telling his daughter that he's not going to have a stranger do his job. The FBI stated that they never took action when hearing this because Zane would frequently make empty threats. Tina's sister Fatima revealed at trial that her parents wanted to arrange a marriage for her, just as they did for their 3 older daughters. She said that her father expected Tina to return to his native village as a virgin so that she could marry a relative of Zane's son-in-law and live in the family home. She didn't want to do that. Fatima says that her father wanted to give her the house, the land, everything, saying that her father loved Tina the most and that she was the apple of his eye. Really? Imagine if he hated her.
But Tina's own sisters would later say she was a bad daughter who deserved to die.
I only cry for my parents. She was very disobedient. This is a girl that she always had everything she needed and wanted. She had loving parents, caring and loving parents. She had anything she always wanted.
Federal prosecutors would later allege an additional motive for the murder. The terror cell pressured Issa to kill Tina because they feared she would rat them out. That was never proven in court. But former CIA operative Mike Baker, who is now a counterterrorism specialist, says no one should be shocked when an honor killer turns out to be a terrorist, too.
Same person who can justify killing their daughter or killing their wife in an honor killing is probably, in all likelihood, carrying the same mindset that Al-Qaeda would look for in some young fellow or someone to go strap on a bomb and blow themselves up in a market.
Baker says not all Muslim men who commit honor killings are international terrorists. Obviously, they are not.
In the end, both Zane and Maria were found guilty and sentenced to death on December 20th, 1991. While awaiting execution, Zane would die from diabetes in 1997. Maria was able to have her sentence changed to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She would also die in prison from natural causes on April 30th, 2014 at the age of 70. All right, guys, if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate you so very much. I truly do. Please leave me a like, a comment. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. It would mean so much to me. And until next time, stay safe out there.